On today's episode of the Cryptoverse Market Roundup, I'm going to go through the major price movements and give a reading of the Ethereum price chart. So stay tuned. Hi there guys, welcome to the latest edition of the Cryptoverse Market Roundup. I am your host, Chris Coney, the founder of Cryptoversity, the online school where you can learn about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies and blockchains. Find out more at cryptoversity.com. So in the Market Roundup show, we do two segments. We do a quick market roundup, then we look at one of the price charts for one of the major coins. Let us begin though with the Market Roundup itself, which comes to us courtesy of CoinMarketCap.com. Now in the top 20 today, we have Qtum being the biggest winner, up 4.46% to $6.99 and a $412 million market cap. That is enough to keep Qtum in 12th place. And just above that, Stratis is in 10th place and comes out as the biggest loser by percentage in the top 20. Stratis is down 12.35% today at $5.27. The market cap that it has to keep it in 10th place is 519 million, which is almost 100 million more than its next biggest competitor in terms of market cap. In 11th place, just below Stratis, is EOS with a $424 million market cap. So it's got a $100 million gap between 10th and 11th, giving Stratis that $100 million market cap lead. Now in terms of the most traded coin today, you can imagine it's Bitcoin, right up there with just over $1 billion worth of trading volume in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin is usually the most traded coin. Sometimes another coin beats it on a rare day, but that's why we keep an eye on it to see if we have any major changes to look at. In terms of the honorable mention today, I'm going to give it to NEO, which finally CoinMarketCap are starting to list what was AntShares as NEO. So AntShares is now going by the name NEO, N-E-O, as in Neo from the Matrix. And that's sitting there in 15th place with a $395 million market cap, almost 396 million. It shaved 6.5% today and sits at $7.92. Other than that, overall in the top 20, I'd say it's more down than up. There are a few other double-digit losers like Veritasium, down 11.15%, and Steam, which is down 10.88%. But other than that, some single-digit gains and losses across the board, and not so bad. Bitcoin today is sitting at 47.9% dominance, and that's because of Ethereum's drop today of about 4%. But speaking of Ethereum though, as we move into the chart reading segment, we'll see exactly what's gone on with Ethereum since we did the last chart reading. So to do that, we go over to Coinigy. If you'd like to draw charts like this, click the link in the video description, and then you can just copy my analysis and follow along. So this is Ethereum trading against the US dollar. This price feed comes from Bitfinex. That's the beauty of Coinigy, is you can plug it into almost any exchange, as they support like 45 different exchanges. In my case, for consistency, I'm using Bitfinex. So this is the setup that we had before. If you watched the last episode the previous episode where I read the Ethereum price chart, you should recognize this analysis. Now I drew these 4 upward pointing yellow arrows to see if the recovery most recently was going to be a fake out. Because I was saying, look at the character of Ethereum over the last few weeks and months. Every time we've had a bit of a recovery in the downtrending channel, it's then continued to fall. And then most recently on the 17th of July, we had 2 good buyer days up to the 50-day moving average. And I was like, is the channel going to continue? Well, it turns out no. That breakout from the 17th, actually the 18th was the breakout day from the downtrending channel, resulted in a down day after that. And I thought we were going to get a bit of a grind going on, you know, like when a skateboarder jumps up on a rail and grinds across. Sometimes that's how trend lines work. If they go from support to resistance or the other way around, resistance to support, when they flip over to the other side, the resistance continues, but it sort of like grinds in the same direction, but on the other side of the trend line. So in this case, I thought that was going to happen, but it didn't end up happening, but for a couple of days. So that happened on the 19th, where it came back down and started to grind on the top of the channel there. On the 20th, it went back up again, but you can see this now horizontal move. Most recently, like between like the last 4 or 5 days, you can see the top of the range is getting stuck on the 50-day moving average. That's providing the resistance level. And it's a moving average, so that resistance line is being tweaked on a day-to-day basis. However, I'll call it around $230, roughly, give or take $1 or $2. And then you'll see more recently, the lows of the day are hitting this thin sort of teal colored line, which happens to be the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement line, which is sitting at $209.23. So that becomes like a little channel, a consolidation channel. The top of it is the 50-day moving average. The bottom of it is the 61.8% fib line. So the bottom of that, as I've just mentioned, $209. The top of it, $230. It's reasonably tight. But even if we broke that 50-day moving average, there is another ceiling right above that, the next Fibonacci level, which would be $248. This was a level we've been talking about previously. If you remember way back, it must have been like a month ago, when we were looking at 248 as being support, it almost held back at the 26th and 27th of June there, but the downtrending channel continued and it finally broke the 248 level on the 7th of July. So we're going sideways right now, and today that $209 level has been tested. So far it's holding, so it looks pretty good. I'm actually going to now delete these arrows that point upwards because that character seems to have been broken now. The rise from the 17th of July doesn't seem to be a fake out. At least it's broken out of the downtrending channel. The price remains in no man's land. However, it's almost out. So, you know, as I delete these arrows, you know, I talk about no man's land in my trading plan being in between the two moving averages. Well, technically we are still in that range, but we're not far off coming back above the 50-day moving average. So as soon as that happens and it's confirmed, I'll be looking at long positions for Ethereum. I'm going to leave the downtrending channel in place for the time being. I don't think enough time has passed being out of it to give me that confidence yet. And at the minute we're totally going sideways, so that's another reason to stay and wait for more data. All right, that's all I've got to say about the Ethereum price chart for today. I do hope you'll sign up for a Coinigy account using my link in the video description and follow along. But other than that, thank you very much for joining me today for the Market Roundup. If you like this episode, go ahead and hit that like button and get subscribed if you're new. And if you want access to my very best stuff, check out Cryptoversity.com. All right, guys, I'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the Market Roundup, and I'll be back later on today with the news and commentary show. So until then, it's me, Chris Coney, saying bye for now.